You want to bring us home?
I actually can't think of a lick of advice that I would give young Travis. I'm like,
everything you did was perfect.
I think I did everything correctly or the best of my ability.
Yes, don't change a thing. You're living the dream. This video is brought to you by Stand Up to Cancer. We'll hear more about them later. For now, let's get on to today's video. Welcome to Room 6, the channel dedicated to local music, wherever it may be, and the people that make it, including my guests. And my guests are my first Pacific Northwest band that I'm interviewing. Like, I moved up here and it's been everywhere else. They're my first Pacific Northwest band. They are a Pacific Northwest, or PNW, punk band, blending elements of street punk with some oi, D-beat, and metal thrown in. Their new single, Medical Malpractice, is out now. Make sure you stick around to the end of the interview because we're going to be seeing the music video for that. Their next show is Friday, February 7th at Lucky Liquor with Neutral Boy, Street Justice PNW, and Bridge Kids. Please welcome to the channel, The Indicted. Hi, guys.
Hey there.
Hey, how you doing?
Welcome to the party, guys. So, if you don't know who The Indicted are, thank you for watching. Go ahead and tell them who you are and what you do in the band.
I'm Patrick Ryan. I'm the vocalist.
Victor Hamilton, guitarist.
I'm the drummer, Matthew.
I'm Travis, and I play the bass.
Right on. And how long have you guys been this lineup as The Indicted?
A relatively short period of time. Travis and Matt have, a couple months? Give or take 6 months?
Yeah.
Then he switched. Travis was originally our second guitar player. Unfortunately, our former bass player, Kyle, we had some misunderstandings, differences, and so Travis is natively a bass player anyway, so he's taken up the mantle. As far as us, Pat and I, we've been doing this since like late 2023.
Yeah, it's 23, 22. That was, I would say like mid 22. So we started doing this, just me and Victor here in his house. And I had a bunch of songs written lyrically. He had a bunch of songs written musically, and then he had also had some songs with lyrics. So we just basically collaborated and just started putting out the music, just like as a demo, basically, and just seeing if people were interested. And then it just kind of grew from there.
Right on. By the way, if you want to be like The Indicted and be featured on Room 6, whether reviewed, interviewed, or both, hit me up using my email address down below or by clicking the Room 6 social media link. That's where you'll find all the things I'm up to online, ways you can support the channel, like maybe getting some sweet merch at room6.shop. And what the hell, go ahead and click that like, share, and subscribe button. It all helps, and I thank you. All right, that's my YouTube crap out of the way. So, now you are based out of Tacoma, Washington, is that right?
Yeah, we're here in Tacoma, Washington.
Right on. And I'm in Vancouver, so it's a kind of a hike to Tacoma, but
Vancouver, BC, or Vancouver down by Portland?
Vancouver down by Portland.
Oh, okay.
I keep forgetting how close we are to.
Yeah, we're only like 230 miles or so
to our northern neighbors. So now I mentioned about the next show is Friday, February 7th with those bands, but you have another one coming up right after that, right?
Yep. It's going to be the 22nd.
22nd of February, and it's going to be at Real Art Tacoma on basically Tacoma Ave South, or South Tacoma Way is what they call it. But we're headlining that show. We also got Grimlock, Potbelly, Well Adjusted, and Liability, and those bands are from up in Snohomish County, which is about 2 counties north of here. So we decided to bring them down and invite them down to play a show at all ages venue. So see how it goes.
All ages shows can go hard, and they're always like the best bang for your buck.
Oh yeah, I've seen some pretty crazy hardcore shows.
Yeah, venues. Yeah, especially with the hardcore scene, that's really huge.
Yeah,
and Scram's email, the kids are loving it. The kids want to actually get out and like see live performances. I think they're kind of done being inside.
Yeah, and my experience in Vegas is like if it's an all ages show, you could be like 10 bands on the bill for $10.
Oh yeah. And now they got that. What is that punk rock museum down there in Vegas? So they're like doing shows and bringing in other.
I've actually I used to live stream it was basically like a acoustic punk performances there, and that place is really cool, tiny but really cool. And yeah, I that's one of the things I miss is having a place like that at your at your convenience. That's the word.
Yeah, it's so close.
Yep.
Tacoma's growing with some venues. There's a couple new venues that opened up. A couple venues closed that were here for a few years, which is sad. But hopefully they get bought or reopened by different owners and stuff. So hopefully the scene here keeps going. Seattle has a scene, but it's not as big as it used to be.
Yeah.
Out, you know.
And you know what? It's up to you, viewers, to keep your local scene going. If a venue closes, it's usually not because they weren't doing something right. It's because people weren't going to shows. That being said, there's always exceptions to every rule. How often do you guys get to Portland?
Oh, we haven't even been to Portland yet.
We would like to. we stole Travis from Portland.
I've been to Portland a bunch of times for different events and stuff, but yeah, as far as us playing down there, we haven't played down there yet.
We'd pretty much be down to go anywhere.
Tri-Cities, Yakima.
Yeah, so much so that we do have a GoFundMe out. We're trying to raise funds so we can get like a designated band vehicle, so we can actually pack our stuff in. It's not like multiple cars, and we can actually make those kinds of trips possible. So,
right on. Where can they find the link for that? Besides, I'll put it. Hopefully, future Josh, put that link down in the description. But is it on your website?
Sure. Yeah. So that will be found the_indicted_PNW for Pacific Northwest. That's our Instagram. I manage it. That's where we're the most active. You should find every relevant link possible to our content over there.
Excellent. Yeah. Speaking of which, make sure you check out all their social media links down below so you can follow them, like them, share all that jazz, and keep up and maybe go see them live if they're in your area. Real quick, I want to start off with let's get to the actual interview. I want to start off with this is like one of my usual questions. You OG Room Sixers, you know what's coming. I ask this of all my prey. I like to ask, what is your earliest memory of saying, I want to do that?
As far as just being a musician in general? Or
sorry, let me phrase it the way I normally say it. I want to talk about your earliest musical influence. Is there a moment where you remember saying, I want to do that?
Oh, man.
Here.
Yeah, probably like 17 going to house shows when house shows were a thing like 25 years ago. There's not so many house shows anymore, but there used to be a shit ton of house shows in Seattle and King County and even down here in Tacoma back in the early 2000s. But yeah, that's probably been my earliest time of wanting to play and just be part of something. I mean, basically just be part of a community, basically, and a community that basically we just did shows. We just played shows. Everybody was there. Everybody was having a good time. We just wrote a song just recently. We're going to drop it as a new single. It's called Stash Spot. We've got to get some stuff worked out on it, but it's basically talking about house shows and house parties and how they were there. Now they're gone. Now they're just a memory in our past. But hopefully, somebody will bring them back. Maybe we'll see.
Nice. I mean, I know house shows are still a thing occasionally, and they go hard, but like liability.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Next.
For me, I remember specifically going to my first Warped Tour when I was like 13 or 14 years old with my dad. And before that, we had gone to classic rock shows like ZZ Top, Steve Miller Band, Journey, REO Speedwagon and whatnot. But that was my first introduction to punk rock music, was at the Warped Tour when I was 13 or 14. I forgot what age. But that's when I remember specifically looking at them being like, yeah, I want to be a part of that community because they're all, hand-sewn clothes and shitty tattoos and funky big hairdos. And I was already there at that age. So it was like, I just kind of fit right in.
Nice. That almost sounds like the hippie community.
Hold on. I have a spine. Big difference there.
Oh.
Easy.
Well, all you hippies, if you can, put together an email, send it to.
And Krusty's actually, I like the aesthetic and I like the music. Nobody else apparently does. I'll slam some amoebics and nausea and shit like that. Nobody else here does. But.
For me, the aesthetics were never a draw for me. Like I don't own a vest patch, or sorry, a patch vest, but I've got some patches, and it's just one of those things. Like it was, as a musician, as a songwriter, that was what drew me. Was this is music with a cause, with a purpose, with a message, and sometimes that message is just oi oi oi. But there are times where you're listening to music going like, yeah, this is something that you're not hearing about on the radio, or you're not hearing about from the pop bands or the even the metal bands or whatever. Yeah. There's some good friends of mine who have been on the channel more than once, named Crimson Riot, wrote a song called "Not Punk Enough," and the singer is basically saying, I'm sorry, I'm not punk enough for you. I play bass with a pick, things like that. And but they are, every single time they come out swinging. It's like, if that's not punk, I don't know what is.
Yeah, I think there was a saying: if you're not planning to burn the house down every single night, why are you even here? I don't know who that was, and that's the paraphrase, but hopefully we live by that.
Right. Now, I hope you mean metaphorically burn the house down.
Well, yeah, of course.
Oh man, we used to have some house destruction parties.
I say that. I've interviewed more than one punk band where the place burnt down. Not that from their own fault, but Christ. A fire happened during the show, and they kept playing. You're like,
my old promoter, respect. My old promoter in Seattle did he had a promotion called Local Chaos Productions. He did for like 20 years, and then like house fire. He died. He passed away in a house fire. It's horrible. Man. But it's just like house fire, house destruction party, break all the windows. I've been to places called the Hell House, the Hendo House, the Flag House, the Stash Spot, the Rendezvous. What else is there? There was the retirement home. The what was the one in Georgetown? There was one in Georgetown too called the Fire Breathing Kangaroo FBK House. And that was like full of crusties, and all these crusty kids with hot trains and get off in Georgetown on their way into Seattle. Oh man, that house is still there. I bet you they're still doing shows this day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of houses on fire, our thoughts go out to everybody in LA that's been affected by the fires, and we hope that your family and you are safe and have found or somewhere where you can get back on your feet. And yeah, like we're nowhere near you, so it's not affecting us, but it still sucks. So
yeah, well, my dad's living over in California right now. I try to keep in touch with him daily because he moved over to California because he's approaching his 90s and his hips can't take the cold. It's that typical kind of old man thing.
Yep.
Where he moved for the weather, because the winter down over here right now is really brutal. But that fire shit is scary.
Yeah.
But Matt, I don't think you have answered that question. When did you want to start?
I mean,
nice segue.
I've had a fun time progressing through a lot of like musical inspiration, because as a young man, I was like really into stuff that was in video games and movies and stuff. And as I got older, I got into skateboarding and graffiti, which landed me in the mosh pit, honestly. And the influence to want to play drums, especially, comes a lot from how I saw moshes behave in both metal and punk. A lot of people know that they're like kind of like entirely different or whatnot. But if you just want to be involved in that kind of thing, got to try them both out. You will find the one that you like more. And like playing with these guys, it produces a certain type of mosh, certain type of dance. And my favorite thing is to just see that happen. I mean, that's like a role I want to take part in. I started playing like an acoustic guitar, skateboarding around, but like I couldn't help myself. The second I heard a snare drum, I was like, I gotta know. I gotta be a part of it.
Nice.
And now I'm influenced by the people I play with. I'm learning about their history. I'm not too much younger, but I'm young enough that there's things they bring up where I go, whoa, okay, cool. I didn't know. Like, now I'm a part of that too. Now I'm a part of that like long history of good ideas stacking on top of each other.
Very cool. Very cool.
For me, I've been playing guitar since I was like 12 years old. I've mostly been like a metal guy my whole life. Switched over to bass for a bit. And I don't know, I met you in 2012? We were doing, you put out a Craigslist ad for like, you wanted, I think Potty Mouth just ended.
Yeah, we just ended. I was with this other band. Actually, Alan said something to me earlier. He said I totally, because he's looking at some old pictures. The last band I was playing with was like over a decade ago, and he said I totally Henry Rollins that band. He said I followed them. I followed them and was around them so much that they literally just took me on as the singer after Phil left. Or they kicked him out or something. I don't know. But yeah, I think 2012, I put an ad out. It was 2012 or 2013, right? Yeah, around that time. And then he met up with me and sent me some music. And I was just in a weird place in my life, but we stayed in contact all these years. And then I moved to Tacoma. He moved to Tacoma, and we were closer. So just, being around each other and stuff. Now we live together. So
yeah. And for a bit, I actually kind of quit playing. I was mostly focusing on composing, doing production music. I really wanted to get into trailers, movies, video games, in addition to doing my regular job. And this has actually brought me back to playing guitar. I quit because I wanted to be like Yngwie Malmsteen or Marty Friedman, and I wasn't even close. But this has kind of reignited a new kind of passion where I can shred and it doesn't have to be perfect, but it's exciting. So that's my answer to that question.
Awesome. We're going to take a quick little break here. Hear a message from future Josh. So stick around and we'll be right back.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Thanks, Josh from the past. Generally, I'm an easygoing guy with love for most people and things. But you know what I really hate? Fucking cancer. Like many of you, it's affected my family too, and it really needs to go. In fact, there will be 5,200 people diagnosed with cancer today alone. That's why I'm partnering with Stand Up to Cancer. Stand Up to Cancer funds and develops the newest and most promising cancer treatments to help patients today. They dramatically accelerate the rate of new discoveries by connecting top scientists in unprecedented collaborations to create breakthroughs. Their innovations lead to better cancer preventions, diagnoses, and treatment, which means that we can help save lives now. They're committed to funding ambitious and robust research and awareness efforts focused on incorporating health equity in cancer care for the benefit of all patients facing cancer. The best part? 100% of your donations support Stand Up to Cancer and its collaborative cancer research programs. Just for watching this video, and for being part of Room 6, and for a limited time, you can use my affiliate link down in the description to get 10% off your first order when you sign up for email. Plus, you'll be helping out the channel and the cancer fight. Thanks to Stand Up for Cancer for being a sponsor, and let's get back to the show. We're back, and if that sponsor spot interested you at all, please consider clicking the link down below. You'll save some money, I'll get some money, it's a win-win. Now then, we're interviewing, of course, the Indicted. We're talking about earliest musical memories, and they got a show coming up Friday, February 7th at Lucky Liquor. The links for their social media, where you can find out more information about all that, is down below. And stick around, we're going to be seeing the music video for their new single, Medical Malpractice, after this interview. Back to you guys. Wanted to ask a question that is kind of weird, but what is your favorite performing show memory? And it could be where things went way off the rails, like the place burned down, or it could be you checked off a bunch of rock star wish list things, or whatever. So this is this one-time memory. What do you got?
I got one. So the previous band I was in was called Dreadnoks out of Salem, Oregon. And they're a group of awesome dudes, great guys. But a couple months after joining that band, I got to play a band with Green Jello.
Wow, I actually just saw them at my last show I went to before moving from Vegas.
Oh, they're so great live. Like the punk rock Muppet show they do is so spot on. And I was always really into claymation as a little kid. And I remember being like, in elementary school, and my dad calling me out of my bedroom when I was playing with my action figures. He's like, "Hey, come look at this music video. It's claymation. You'll like it." And it was, the Three Little Pigs song.
And then came Rambo.
Yeah, then came Rambo. Your sucker's worst nightmare. And
Nice.
all that good stuff.
Yeah, they definitely still got it.
Yes, they do.
That they used to be called Green Jelly.
Or no, they were called Green Jello, but then Jello sued them, and then they had to like add an umlaut over the Y or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Or
Sorry.
something like that.
Yeah. Anyway, I digress.
Something weird.
So what's your memory?
Oh, that was like a dream come true because I actually did have a dream that I was playing a show with Green Jello.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Like months before I even joined Dreadnoks. And then I was playing a show with Green Jello a few months after having that dream.
Nice.
So that was pretty cool. That was literally a dream come true for me.
There you go. Next batter up.
I'd probably say when I was probably 18, 19, seeing the Exploited. They did a UK invasion tour, if I remember right. I had like Phantom Rockers and Resilience out of LA, or they're right out of LA somewhere. But I've seen so many shows. I used to work at 5 or 6 different venues and clubs bouncing. I've seen so much music, like it's hard, but that would, like, as far as a memory, like the first time seeing like the Exploited play was nuts. But I've seen so many shows after that, and even before that a little bit, that blew my mind. But I would say like that was one that is still in my memory today that won't ever leave.
Nice.
Over to Matt here.
Oh, I've got a microphone. My first ever band had like a Doom thing going on, and I've always been into like dark fantasy Doom stuff. So we're under a bridge, and the ground is all like dirt and stuff. So there's like 40 kids moshing, and so it's like a sandstorm. And I'm playing the guitar, and the guitar unplugs from the amp, so I'm in a sandstorm mosh looking for my chord. And like I plug it in, and the first note that comes out is just screaming, and nobody can see anything. So I'm playing like doomy guitar in a sandstorm, which I think is exactly what I thought every Doom song was supposed to be performed as. And that was like my first. I was really nervous. I thought we were just gonna blow everything. Everything was just gonna suck. I did not think it was gonna be a dark fantasy power thing come alive. So that was super cool, and I always remember that.
Last but not least.
Yeah, I've got 2 actually. One was in 2013. I believe it was either at Showbox or the Numos, where I saw a Bolt Thrower play one of their last shows before I think their drummer passed, and then they just broke up the band forever. So that was really huge. There was that one, and then before that, when I was a bit younger, I was in high school. There was a giant death metal and grindcore thing happening over at this venue, Studio 7 in Seattle, when that was still active. And a band from Germany called Necrophagist were playing. They're very, very hyper technical kind of death metal, and they're not around anymore either. That was incredibly memorable. I don't think too many people have seen them live, obviously. No.
Very cool. Don't forget to stick around after the interview. We're going to be seeing the music video for Medical Malpractice. I got one more question. You made it. Last question. All right. So we're going to circle back to that earliest musical influence question at the beginning. You remember that? We're going to talk to little you. Okay, we're going to talk to that little you that said, I want to do that. What is one thing that you wish you could go back and tell yourself about going down this twisted road that is making music? And don't say change your strengths.
Practice more.
Yeah.
That's about it for me. Just practice more and like actually focus and get disciplined.
That we should, yeah, all of us can go back and yell at ourselves about that.
Oh yeah. Well, there's gonna be a lot of stuff I can think about in the last 15 years. Be more compassionate with the players. Be more empathetic to the people I'm working with. And that's what I have here now. If I would have done that maybe years ago, I would have been different on certain levels. Different recordings, or would have released stuff. But we all let people, including me and other people, just let bad taste in each other's mouths. So nothing ever got done. The stuff just went to the wayside, basically.
Yeah, there's it's tough when it's tough to, well, you know what? Yeah, be kind to everybody. Everybody's fighting their own battles.
I would say that like a lot of the notes and the orchestration stuff can get really mystifying. Every instrument is a rhythm instrument, and if I'm not moving to it, why should I expect you to move to it? Or if I don't feel something from it, how am I going to expect you to feel something from it? So like just going back to the basics of where humans started, we used to hit things and sing. Now we have more complicated methods of doing it, but like you can't lose track of the rhythmic base of like what really gives this thing energy and like power.
Definitely. You want to bring us home?
I actually can't think of a lick of advice that I would give young Travis. Like, I'm like,
Everything you did was perfect.
Like, I think I did everything correctly or the best of my ability.
Yes, don't change a thing. You're living the dream.
Yeah, keep at it, boy.
All right, I got nothing. I can't say it any better. So, with that, I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank the band for coming on the show. Stick around. We're going to be seeing that music video for Medical Malpractice, and then we'll catch you in the outro. In the meantime, we'll temporarily say goodbye. See you in a minute.
Just so you can wine and dine. Put the fear in my life that I might die any night. Corporation is your wealth, never about your fucking health. Filthy fucking industry, slave your body to the greed. Bureaucratic monopolies, leaving a trail of broken dreams. Addicts and victims left in their wake. Permanent customers who can't escape. Medical malpractice. Got my gun, you better run. Got my gun, you better run. When I start blasting, white coat stains with your blood. White coat stains with your blood. Surgeons paid for butchery, escaping liability. Big pharma industry, insurance in your PCP. Everyone's a fucking crook when they profit from the hook. The friendship brain and bridge of solo dignity, complete control. Bureaucratic monopolies, leaving a trail of broken dreams. American healthcare's fucking joke. When you're left mingled, homeless and broke. Medical malpractice. Got my gun, you better run. Got my gun, you better run. When I start blasting, white coat stain with all your blood. White coat stain with all your blood. Medical malpractice. Got my gun, you better run. Got my gun, you better run. When I start blasting, white coat stains with your blood. White coat stains with your blood.
Scalpel. Clamp. All right, nurse. I need a little suction. A little more suction. Another clamp. Oh, wait. Wait, we gotta. It's losing the line. We need. Oh, no, he's flatlining. Nurse! Oh my God!
I want to thank the Indicted for coming on the channel. It was a great interview and an awesome music video. If you want to know more about them, hit those social media links down below and, tell them Room 6 sent you. In the meantime, if you want to see more videos like this, please click up here. If you want to subscribe, click over there, and don't forget to ring the bell. If you want to hear my own music, click over there. Don't forget that their next show is February 7th at Lucky Liquor. And remember to be amazing, and we'll see you next time on Room 6. Say goodbye, guys.
See ya.
Bye, guys.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. There's always one.